Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button and the notification button so you will be notified the next time I upload a video. So it is absolutely freezing in my house, and so I went and put on this big comfy sweatshirt that represents my home team. So born and raised DC kid and Washington Redskins all the way. So anyhow, no comments, please. I am going to go through my ride or die things right now. And I didn't just pick one in some categories. I had two. But I can fill a makeup bag. And I think it'd be okay. So I'm going to start with how I apply my makeup. So the first thing I have is this Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. This is the original primer potion. This is just a sample size. Really love this. Makes my eyeshadow stay on for quite a while. I did just see a trick that I'm gonna film, where instead of setting the the primer, you kind of dab and work in a slow circle, dab, work in a slow circle. And especially for pressed powders, you get more payoff in the colors. So definitely want to try that. Because we all have those palettes and we say, oh, the colors aren't that vibrant, blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's something that we're doing. It seemed to work out for the gal's video I was watching, so we'll see how it does for us. More to follow on that. So then I picked two eyeshadow palettes. The first palette I picked was the Modern Renaissance palette. I can pretty much do anything with this palette. I can stay and do a very neutral look on this end. I can go on this end and do darker looks, mix the two. I mean, there's just limitless things that you can do with this palette, and I love it. And I'm finally starting to get like dirt on it. I tried to keep it clean for so long. But I picked up another palette, and I talked to you guys about both of these palettes in my top 10. A palette that I often travel with is the Tartelette and Bloom palette, especially if I'm traveling for work. I can get very good looks out of this, and be very comfortable that if I'm on the road for a week on business, I'm going to get not the same look every day using this palette. So those are my eyeshadow palettes. Let's see. Let me talk to you about a couple of other eye products that I love. So the first thing is the Urban Decay Walk of Shame 24/7 Waterline. This is a tan color, cream color eyeshadow to put in your waterline to brighten up your eyes. Love this. And then secondly, and I have two big unopened tubes of this, is the Marc Jacobs mascara. And Marc Jacobs sells lots of different mascaras. Let me tell you what this one is called. Velvet Noir Major Volume. So I have several samples, so I don't want to open a large one, but that is wonderful. Wonderful. So the other thing I have, let's see. Oh, primer. Whoa. What I thought was my Ride or Die primer has changed. Like just dramatically changed recently. So what I've been using is the Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Primer. I am nearly out of it. But I consider this to be high-end. The One Heck of a Blot Primer, which I have seemed to have misplaced mine. I cannot find it anywhere. The One Heck of a Blot Primer is a dupe for this primer. and it is for the large bottle. I think it's like $12 or something, whereas the large bottle of this is almost $40. So either one of those primers, wonderful. Work great when I'm using a dewy foundation. If I had to pick a primer when I was using a matte foundation, I would go with something. I personally use the Glam Glow Glow Moisturizer. You know, the illuminating moisturizer, the one that smells like oranges. I have it in the regular formula and I have it in the matte formula. Both are wonderful when you're using a matte foundation. So, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some bronzers. So the first bronzer I got, we were talking when we were doing the foundation video about things that I got when I came back to makeup, you know, for full looks, you know, more than just lipstick and mascara. And the first thing I got was the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I love this bronzer. There's probably 2 of them in my stash. Love it. But I was also introduced to another bronzer, and that is from The Balm, the Bahama Mama. Now, I have the NARS, Laguna, or I have all of those, right? That are supposed to be really good primers. I have Marc Jacobs, I have Tom Ford, I have, no, these 2, best. They work the best for me. I have been using this Chocolate Soleil one just because it's old and I want to use it up. And my Hoola bronzer, because I have that in a palette. I'm trying to use those 2 things up, but yes, favorite bronzers right now. And then I went looking through my blushes. I have just recently become back in love with blushes. You know, I kind of go back and forth. But the first blush that I bought, once again when I came back to makeup, was this in Smashbox blush called Heartbreak. It is wonderful. I don't like super pinky blushes. I like some lighter mauve-y colors. And I don't like bright reds either. I'm going to show you something. Now, I don't remember how much that Smashbox was. Let me show you a couple things. So, this blush palette right here from Morphe, and Morphe's come out with some new blush products in the past week or 2 weeks. But this blush palette right here for home, this is perfect. Travel, yes, a little blush, but there's probably some Wet n Wild ones that are just as good. But I really do enjoy this. This is the 9 Neutral palette for the blushes. So, and then I have a couple of highlighters. I love highlighters. I have a lot of highlighters. But the one that I get the most comments on is the Mary Lou Manizer highlighter. Sorry. I get everybody when I'm wearing this says, "What are you wearing?" This is what I'm wearing. If you can see me on the moon, this is what I'm wearing. But sometimes I like to pull out this palette. This is the Desi Danger palette from Morphe. It was her collab with Morphe. Morphe does have some highlight palettes, but this palette is lovely. Lovely. And I think, you know, I paid $10 for it. They just did a collab with, I can't think of the kid's name now. But, you know, they're always doing something. There's so much you can do. There's some shifts in this palette. There's just so much. There's actually a banana powder in here. You can use for under your eyes. There's pinks that you could use for blushes if you wanted a light blush. There's a darker pink for another blush. I mean, depending on the color of your skin, there's so much you could do with this. Okay, what else do I have out here? I've got a couple more things. So you guys see me use Fix Plus all the time. I have, I don't know how many bottles of this hanging around this place. But as I'm applying my makeup, I put my foundation on, I'm setting, and then more powder and all of that, I continue to spray this on my face. So that all of that, it's not a setting spray, but it helps all of those powders melt together and looks flawless. It is worth it. I know it's pricey. It's like, I don't know, $20 for a bottle like this. But they last. Even though you spray a lot, I do, they last me. I mean, the first backup bottle I bought for last summer's collection from MAC, and I haven't even opened it yet. So that tells you how long these things last. But I've really come across, for a true setting spray, this Milani Make It Last. Oh my gosh, doesn't budge. I was a Urban Decay, you know, the all-nighter or whatever. That's all I would use. Just as good, if not better. They also have this in a dewy finish. I am going to go and purchase that after my makeup diet. I'm trying to decide if I like that makeup diet idea. I don't think I do. Let's see. And then lastly, lip products. And I probably missed something. My eyebrows, I put all kinds of stuff on my eyebrows. Don't even worry about it. Same with lashes. I like a thin band lash, and I buy those suckers at the drugstore, TJ Maxx, wherever I can get them marked down, I buy them. I can normally go for a wispy, something like that. I haven't found a lash that I'm like, oh my god, I can't get away. I can't not have this lash. So the first, I have two lip products. The first one I want to talk about is really a gloss, or I consider it to be a gloss, but it's this White Russian from Buxom. I just bought, this is my third tube. I just bought this one on the sale that Ulta had. And it's very neutral. And it has that kind of minty tingling. Not burning, but just a little tingling. And I really do like this. And then for a drugstore lipstick, this Milani teddy bear color. Oh my god. I'm dying for it. I love it. Second tube of this. And it's affordable. It's like $6. Something like that. So, yeah. That's kind of like my ride or die stuff. For, you know, if I could only have these things, then it would only be these things. I don't even need lashes. Like, I could get away without them. I do need my brow stuff. I should have really put a brow product in here. I would tell you that I do like the ColourPop brow products, the pencil. It's $6, I think. Totally worth it. I'm not one on pomades and stuff. I have them. I think it's a lack of experience on how to use them. But anyways, that's my ride or dies, guys. I'll film this video again, I'm sure, in another 6 months, because something will have changed. Although I never, ever, I don't ever think I'll have a time in my life where this will be out of it. This is it. This is it. I love this one so much. I haven't even purchased the variations of this that have come out since. I'm like, nothing can be as good as this. Nothing. Nothing. Alright. That is all I got for Ride or Die. I will see you guys later on, probably in my comfy sweatshirt. We're going to open some boxes. Alright, my loves. Thank you so much for everything. I tell you this all the time. You're so special to me, and I just appreciate you so much. And thank you for everything you do. Mwah.